Initially, it started in 1986, and it was part of the redevelopment of the South Bay. During the redevelopment, which some of the funds came from that too, and also the coastal conservation. And then in 1988, a year after we opened with the center, U.S. Fish and Wildlife made it an official refuge. And in that, they said, well, how about allocating certain parts of this the refuge or Sweetwater Marsh to help the endangered wildlife. And at that point in time, we had 9 rare and endangered species of wildlife out here on the refuge, and therefore they said, well, let's build something to help initiate that and teach people about the marsh and wetlands.
We have over 150 different species here, probably lots more than that, but it's very hard to count some of the little guys, especially our invertebrates, so we use that sort of as an overall number, so over 150.
Prior to all the development out here, back in the early 1900s, was the gunpowder factory, which took the kelp out of the bay and out of the ocean and turned it into cordite and created gunpowder, which was shipped out of by the trains. That's why you see train tracks all over the place, shipped out of here. And that ran until the early 1900s, I believe it was 1918 or 1916, when World War I ended, and it was considered the end of all world wars. So they closed the plant at that point. And it turned into farming, also a cottonseed oil plant. So then after all the farming, then it turned, unfortunately, into more like a dump. They charge people to bring their trash out here, unfortunately. The first name was the Chula Vista Nature Interpretive Center. Chula Vista Nature Center, they cut the interpretive out because too many people have problems saying it. Now it's the Living Coast Discovery Center. It was part of 2 things. The city, unfortunately, had cut us from their budget at that time in the late 2008, 2009, when the city had financial problems. And therefore, when we applied for grants, when we became a 501c3, many of the grant providers thought that we were still part of the city because it was Chula Vista Nature Center. So taking our name out helped us with the grants, Living Coast Discovery Center. And it's twofold, actually. The second part is with the Living Coast Discovery Center, people, guests and tourists from all over the world, when they look at places to go see in San Diego, oh, where's the Living Coast Discovery Center? You're located on the coast. So it's more of an incentive for them to come out. It's more of a marketing.
Our whole mission really revolves around showing people what we have in our own backyard and appreciating local wildlife and how cool and exotic it really can be. A lot of the time, people think that you have to go see things from other places to get that wow factor, but there are so many amazing animals right here, under the rock in your backyard that you just need to be taught about and to see up close and to, really get an experience with it and a connection. But we do seasonal exhibits every year. They usually last 5 to 6 months or so. And that's our chance to showcase things that are not local. So our exhibit this time is Splash of Color. So we have a lot of different exotic species on exhibit, like parrots and different reptiles that we don't have here in San Diego, like a panther chameleon, those are from Madagascar, and we have parrots from the Amazon jungle, all sorts of amazing birds and animals from around the world, and fish as well, tropical coral reefs, but it is not our primary focus, and those are really a chance for us to exhibit some things and show off some different educational aspects using other animals, but our main is local, and that's really what our specialty is what we have here in San Diego County and the surrounding area. It's not just about what animals we have here, it's about entire habitats and what kind of habitats you can find in the Southern California region. And we're so lucky to have so many. I mean, we have a coastal habitat, we have wetlands, we have desert, we have forests, we have mountains, we have, and everything in between, and urban. There's a lot of animals that thrive in urban settings as well, like crows and things. So there are so many different types of habitats here in San Diego County, and with a short drive to any of them, you can get to these places. So by coming here, you get a small exposure to many, many different environments, including the ocean environment and the shore and things and everything in between. So it's really a great experience to get a sort of a snapshot of what you could see in San Diego County within a few hours drive, and you get that all in one place here. So American Ray petting area. Basically, that's a great animal connection opportunity where people, see these animals in the wild and they don't come up close to you maybe then unless you're getting stung. And so people have these negative connotations of stingrays and sharks and animals that are, scary and have the potential to cause harm. And our really main mission with that is to overcome those stereotypes and talk about the real reasons why these animals can hurt people and why they do. And a lot of the time it's defense. We stepped on them. We didn't see them coming, mistaken identity. And so our goal is to really help people understand that these aren't animals to fear and that they need to be protected, and that they can form connections with them. So by reaching into a pool with stingrays and having them, touch an animal that maybe they were afraid of before is going to help overcome that. And if you're not afraid of something, you're going to be a lot more willing to maybe help protect it and to be an advocate for it in the wild and be smart around how you interact with it. Like we teach people how to do the stingray shuffle. And a lot of the time that is a simple thing that you can do to prevent getting stung. They don't want to sting us, but if you step on them, that's their defense. They don't know how to do anything else, just like a bee sting. So taking steps on our end to teach people how to have safe and fun ocean encounters is a really great opportunity. Jellies we find right in San Diego Bay. I mean, you can go swimming in Mission Bay and be swimming amongst moon jellies. They're totally harmless. You don't want to necessarily go up and lick one or anything. Who knows what that is? Never lick anything in the ocean. But they are a safe jellyfish to touch. So if you are swimming and see moon jellies, don't worry. You're not going to get stung by them. But it's sometimes hard to tell what you have in the ocean.
The trails, it's about 3/4 of a mile around out at the center. If you go out on the point, and we actually have little legs that go out each way. So total it's about 3/4 of a mile. Oh. It's really, and it's nice and flat, and people can see all of San Diego Bay, including downtown, the skyline, the bridge. It's beautiful out there.
A lot of families come through here. It's hugely popular with kids, and a lot of field trip groups. We get structured field trips coming in, and even college students coming in working on assignments. And I think as ocean science becomes more popular and more mainstream in school, kids have a natural curiosity about the ocean, about the outdoors, and this is a place that they can come and actually get their hands dirty and pet animals and be connected to it. So it's something that they're learning about in school, and that they can come here on their own time and also learn, but in a fun, non-formal setting. We do throughout the day 2 shark and ray feedings, which are open to the public. They can come and watch the animals eat. We also do our sea turtle feeding once a day, and our eagle feed, which is really fun. You get to see the eagles, chow down on their rats or mice or whatever else they might be having for lunch, which is a very unique thing. You don't see that very often in most places and get that close to them. So we like to do presentations. It's a great way for people to learn about the animals, because it's one thing to be standing, 5 feet away from a bald eagle, but the human aspect is really where you form the connection, is somebody telling you about this animal. You can ask questions to this specialist that's out there. Our animal care specialists are the ones that deliver these presentations. They know everything about these animals. They work with them day in, day out.
Pretty much our volunteer-based facility. Yes, we do have staff. We do have full-time staff and part-time staff and educators. But without the volunteers giving over 20,000 hours a year, we would not be able to survive. They're pretty amazing. We have different levels of volunteering, and there's over 250 active volunteers that we currently have. The different levels are anywhere from working in the gardens to becoming a docent, which is more or less our elite volunteer The docents put in sometimes up to 20 to 30 hours a week. The Discovery Center has really grown over the years, and with the newest additions to all the staff, we now have the availability to create programs, extra programs for our schools that come out. So not only do we have 2 full-time science teachers here that bring classes in, every day we have, during the regular school year, we have anywhere from 4 to 6 school groups here visiting and learning about coastal conservation, natural resources, and habitats. It's just amazing. And now we're adding to that by adding our own educational staff programs. So not only will the kids get a tour that are not part of these other 2 teachers, they will also get an educated program to like a classroom setting too. We also have overnights, so where the kids could come over and spend the night, learn about what it is to be a scientist out here, what it is like at night out on the refuge. All the nocturnal animals come out. We also have birthday parties, camps. Oh, camps are crazy, but they're a lot of fun. And those are held over the holidays, you know, any of the breaks.
First part of your journey to come here is getting on the bus, and you get to look out over this beautiful marsh. And the reason that we have to have that and why there's not a parking lot up here is because we are fortunate in the sense that we are on a federally protected wildlife refuge. So all of the land around here can never be touched, developed, turned into anything else but a beautiful salt marsh.